understanding our surroundings. Greetings, my sisters and brothers of the gospel. I'm praying your strength in the Lord. Understanding our surroundings. By this, I mean recognizing and understanding the environment and the culture in which we serve. If your assignment is where you grew up and among people you know and in a place you've been all your life, this one may not be as much of an issue to you as it is to the rest of us. But if you're ever sent beyond the borders of your hometown and your people to minister and to serve, you could be in for a mild to rude awakening. You know, this is something many of us never think about or give any consideration to before we venture into an attempt to do ministry. Maybe we aren't getting anywhere with our ministry. Maybe we aren't getting anywhere with our church because of our failure to consider the people, consider the place, and consider the practices of that particular place. 1 Corinthians 9 says, "For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. To them that are without law, I became as without law," Paul saying, "being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ, that I might gain them that are without law." He says, "To the weak I became as weak, that I might gain the weak. I have made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you." When the Lord calls us and sends us out on an assignment, He doesn't always send us to minister to our neighborhood. That assignment may be local and temporary, or it may be distant and permanent, or what we call more permanent, I should say. I've served two churches in my more than 30-year career, 10 years at one and in my 22nd year at the other. And neither in my hometown, both different and more rural than my city of Atlanta experience. I'm basically a country boy who moved from rural to an urban setting. Then I became a city boy who later moved to another rural area. And something I learned while serving as a Georgia State Trooper. I learned that people and ways are different depending on where you are. There are a number of reasons for that. Not just urban versus rural, or black versus white, or Jew versus Gentile. When I first moved to Athens as a Georgia State Trooper, initially I rode with another trooper. And I was riding with a guy one day out in rural Oconee County when he stopped by a farmer's place. We stood around and talked for a while, and as we were about to leave, the gentleman offered us some fresh vegetables. And I said, "No, thank you," and I didn't take any. But when we got back in the car, back in the patrol car and drove off, the other trooper told me, says, "Around here, when someone offers you something, go ahead and take it and just say thank you, even if you throw it out the car on the way down the road." He said, because they could easily be offended. And obviously that made an impact on me, if I still remember it after almost 50 years. Depending on where you are, depending on the attitudes, they can be different. The values can be different. Beliefs can be different. As well as some of the obvious things such as dress, how you speak, and even people can be different. For the preacher and the pastor, understanding our surroundings, knowing where we are, could be the difference in whether we stay or we go, whether we fail or succeed, or whether we are invited again or forgotten as soon as we walk out the door. No, it may not seem like a big deal to the one appearing on the scene for the first time, but for the natives, it can mean everything. Arbitrarily picking up and using what we hear from other preachers, what we see on television, and what we watch on YouTube, it may not fly in our particular church or in our particular area. Going to a new assignment or appearing as a guest preacher, we can be made to feel like fish out of water if we say the wrong thing or the wrong way or to the wrong people or at the wrong time. Sometimes we feel like we're among the frozen chosen when it could be that we have miscalculated the culture or failed to recognize our surroundings. You know, the culture represents the people. The culture represents their beliefs, their attitudes, their ways, their habits, and their understanding. in addition to their geographic region. Patience, due respect, time, and consideration must be given to particular traditions. Again, what may mean little or nothing to you or me, it might mean the world to someone else. And with television and internet, we're exposed to various preaching styles and various leadership styles, some of which we pattern ourselves after. Sometimes we mimic attitudes, behaviors, and even activities. We pick up something from one place and try to apply it in another place, and that doesn't always work for us. From how we dress, how we speak, how we preach, to how we lead or communicate and interact with the people, we try to bring what we learn or experience in one location to another location, not realizing we're in another world, totally different culture and environment. We can easily find ourselves beating our brains out and stressing out because we don't understand why our efforts are not working. I mean, after all, it worked for Bishop Lackluster. It worked for Apostle Bushwhacker. That doesn't mean it'll work for you. It doesn't mean it'll work for me, okay? I don't think for the preacher and the pastor, the Apostle Paul was talking about full assimilation or full acculturation, but rather recognition of differences and respect for those differences. There is, however, a certain amount of adjusting and adapting to our surroundings when they are different than that to which we are accustomed. We've got to make adjustments. We've got to adapt. My advice would be to learn to operate among diverse people and diverse circumstances without losing our own identity or losing focus on our primary mission. Then I would say choose to minister to the culture rather than trying to change the culture. I believe if we minister effectively and with compassion, the culture will eventually change. Then I would suggest that we adjust our thinking and our ministry efforts and activities to our present culture, to where we are. For those who serve in your hometown, serve relatives and friends and the people you grew up with, you might have a different set of challenges. But for us, we need to make sure that we understand our surroundings. That means learn the people, learn the place, learn the ways so that we can better serve them. God bless you, my friend. I'll see you next time. As always, I ask that you would subscribe to our channel, share the messages with others, and share the link to our channel with others. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time. God bless you.